Okay, a week has passed, and you guys should have your credit reports, and they should be filthy. They should look like someone after a baseball game. They're covered in dirt and grass stains. I really want your credit report to look that way. Notes and markings, and it's time to be Mr. or Mrs. Attorney yourself. And in the margins, having, I believe this item should come off for this reason. And a lot of that you may not use, because we're going to teach you something that's a whole lot more simple. But I just want you guys to start seeing this as incorrect information. Don't get it associated or confused with your debt in any way. You do not want to look at a negative item on your credit score and think, I got to get that paid and it'll fix my credit, because that's not how it works. It's true that a lot of you have probably been taught that, but it's just not how it works. And you know who wants you to think that? Your collection companies, those trying to collect money from you. A lot has changed in the last 10 years through law, to where you guys are very protected, a lot more than you used to. The collection companies, there's such a little margin of what they can do, where they used to be able to do tons of shady things. But your report, for the most part, should be marked up pretty well right now. So what we're going to do this week is actually to focus a little bit on your debt. And the reason for that is it's twofold. The latter is that, we don't want you to have to do this again. We want you to get in control of your debts and your finances so that you're this well-oiled machine from here on out. Now, your debt is keeping you up at night right now, if there is some. And so what you're going to do is all the debts that you have, we're going to have you, write down on a legal pad somewhere. But at the top of the list of those debts are the ones that are affecting your credit. And when I say affecting, I mean they're reported on your credit. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start looking at each one of those debts and start figuring, how am I going to resolve this? How important is this one to get taken off? Is it a bridge I've already burned? Or is it a company that I'm still working with right now and I need them in the future? And start to prioritize, how important those debts are and how they're affecting you and how they influence your credit. So what we're going to do here is just now get acquainted with your debts. Who do you need to call today to have a conversation with? Who do you perhaps maybe need to keep avoiding, because we don't want to have their call start up again and make that issue afresh. If an item is 5, 6, 7 years old, don't call those companies right now. Continue to just leave them in the past. But those companies that are a year, 1 or 2 years, especially your bank, get in contact with your bank and say, hey, look, I've got overdraft fees and I need to get this taken care of. How can you help me? And start to open up that communication. Now, what I'm going to do, let's share the screen here real quick. There's a couple things that I want to show you. Now, here's a monthly budget, a family monthly budget. And what you're going to do is start to just fill this out and start to organize yourselves. I'm just going to be brutally honest when I need to be, but a lot of you are in the situation you're in because you're a mess when it comes to your finances. If we repair your credit 100%, 3 months later, it's going to be a mess again if you don't get these things under control. So that's why we include a little bit of your debt assistance, because I'm not a fan of debt consolidation plans. Those companies that want to help you with your debt, I'd avoid like the plague. I really would. If we feel otherwise later on, I'll make sure to notify my clients, that there's a system that is going to help them. But a lot of times that can be detrimental. It can be a negative on your credit or toward your credit. So right now, let's just start to budget and see what we need to cut off of our family budget plan here. Can you cut back on the HBO plan? Or, sorry, HBO, I love you. Should we have less ho-hos and bonbons on the weekend and start to take care of the electrical bills. So it's winter months, and we want our family to be safe. So just start to really be aware of what's going on there. So this is a great tool right here. Let's use it. Now, here's the other one. This is the debt elimination calendar, and I'm telling you, this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Some of those debt reduction gurus out there, I don't know if I can name one of them. There's one that I like, and I think he uses a similar plan. I got this from an organization that I follow, and of course, it's written in our language. But the debt elimination calendar is beautiful. What you do is your most important or your smallest debt, you're going to have to decide how you want to position some of these debts on your calendar. But the way that this set is set up is your smallest debt, let's say it's for, I think I did it for $90. Break it down into 3 payments of $30 because you're paying all your other debts too at the same time. But the longest and the biggest debt, you're given the least to at some point. When you pay off that smallest debt, that means you can now take that money and roll that into the next debt. And then that's more powerful. And when you get that paid off, that money that's no longer being thrown in that direction, you can put at your 3rd largest debt. Pretty soon, all of your money can go toward that one huge debt, which in most cases, it's the biggest or it's the longest running debt. It might be a signature loan or a car loan or something like that. Then that way you're able to loosen up your money for other things in your life. You can start having fun again and go into amusement parks and more movies and just enjoying life. And you're only dealing with one debt. For most of you, it's probably student loans. And that's why I had that here at the very end. You guys, this is the most simple debt elimination plan, and it's free and it makes sense. There's no point paying a ton of money to the new thing out there, okay? Unless you're using debt to create income or use it as an investment, this is the thing that makes the most sense. So another thing that I want to get out there to you is setting up your payments and making them automated is such a beautiful thing. And you'll notice when a collection company calls you, that's their prime directive. We want to get them on auto pay because then I don't need to worry about them each month. They're taken out of my bucket and they're not affecting my numbers. Get out of that mindset that the collection agencies are after you. Look at everything as a positive. When someone's calling to collect on you, be like, this guy wants to help me out. Who cares if he's not? You take the power. You're the one that controls how you feel and how these things are going to affect you. And so if they want to get you on auto pay, do it, because now you don't need to worry about it. Unless you're really having a tough time coming up with money, even then, that should be a goal of yours, is to have everything auto pay. Then that way, your car payment money, it's gone. It's not even there for you to make a decision on or to make a mistake with, and it's totally set. Now, there's 3 different lessons that deal with your accounts. This is the first one. We're looking more at it right now as it's coming from a negative. And so there's not a whole lot that we're going to do that's opening up positives for you. But this is a fundamental time to where you might want to look at opening up a secured credit card. This is bottom of the barrel in building credit, but it also puts you back in good standing with your bank. And, when it comes to being in good terms with your bank, they are a resource. It's a stop. What's the phrase I'm looking for? It's a one-stop shop. A bank can help you with so many things. So be in the good graces of your bank. Open up a secured card with them. That way you can use it like a credit card. It does build positive credit. It's going to open the door for some unsecured cards later on and some other, abilities there. So right now, if you really want to look at moving forward in the positive way, on top of dealing with your negatives right now, look at a secured card. A secured card can help you, and it is another credit line, and it just opens up your abilities to do things, So be open and trust the system. Let's take a look at the debts right now. Not getting immediately to the disputing process just yet. We're almost there. But the reason why we're doing some other things first is because we're setting up that foundation. We're covering all your bases. This is exciting. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Dive in heavy, know where your debts are, because in order to know where you want to go, you got to know where you're at. And right now, you may be, in the mire of debt. And let's get those under wraps. If you guys want to go out and purchase money for software that helps you to monitor these things, Mint.com, I believe they're affiliated with Quicken. They're one that I use. They're excellent. I will drop some names of companies that we're not necessarily affiliated with, but I use on a personal level. I'm here to help you guys save money. I don't want you putting money into all the bells and whistles unless they're really needed. Mint.com is free. They're going to throw marketing and advertising at you, but you're going to be able to control your finances and your bank accounts and just put everything into one bit of software. So don't tell the powers that be above me that I recommended another company, but they will not take away from what we do here. And they're free. So let's get into that. I care about you guys. I think about you all week long, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week we're going to get into some secrets and some tips and some of those good things. Rather than having you go out and buy a bunch of books, I'm just going to cover some of the basics there, the fundamentals that you really need. And then we're going to dispute right after that. So this is really exciting. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And download all the PDFs that are offered. There's stuff in there that deals with medical bills and some other elements that may pertain to you on a personal level. So download all the PDFs and downloads that we have. Make a book out of all that stuff, because that book right there alone is going to be worth any money that you guys are investing into your credit repair, okay?